What's going on, guys? Breaking news. We have a lot of new polling data coming out about Donald Trump, and it looks like Donald Trump is actually beating Kamala Harris, and this is not good news. Kamala Harris has been getting a lot of bad news lately, and this is just kind of adding to her problems. But Donald Trump's getting a lot of good news. There is a lot of polling details we have to go through today. And I hate to pile on the bad news, but Kamala Harris, this is after Kamala Harris gets roasted for bringing her dad along to her CNN interview. This is on top of Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democrat, coming out, changing her mind about Donald Trump, and ended up endorsing Donald Trump for President of the United States for 2024. And this is a really big week for Donald Trump. Not only is Donald Trump right now in Michigan hosting his MAGA rally, but also Robert F. Kennedy Jr. endorses Donald Trump. And this was really a game changer, guys. By the way, if you haven't already, please take a second, hit the like button for the video. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for sharing these videos on social media. It really does help us get the word out. But let's quickly talk about these polls here, guys. I mean, look at this, guys. We can see August 14th, Kamala Harris was beating Donald Trump 56.7% to Donald Trump's 42.7%. Now, this was the honeymoon period we were talking about for Kamala Harris that I told you guys this was not going to last. Mark my words, that this would not last. And sure enough, here we are, August 29th. This is today, guys. This is real time. This is breaking news. August 29th. Look at this. Donald Trump sitting at 52.4% with Kamala Harris sitting at 47.3%, right? So basically, after Meg Thee Stallion, all the hoopla and hype surrounding the Atlanta rally in Georgia with Kamala Harris, Meg Thee Stallion, Quavo, the Migos, after the DNC, all of this hype has exhausted. And we can look at the graph here. You can see on your screen how Kamala Harris, her polling numbers have effectively tanked here today. And Donald Trump's poll position is climbing. Okay? And I want you guys to look at this. Look at how the poll history has intersected. You could see at the point where essentially Kamala Harris was announced, she was basically placed as being the Democratic nominee because basically the coup that took place in the White House booted former President Joe Biden. Well, I say former president. I know he's already going. I know he's already on the way out the door. So I guess I'm kind of like, I got my hand on President Joe Biden's back right now because I'm already ushering him out the door by calling him the former president. Former President Joe Biden, he's on his way out the door. But you can see here the electoral college probability sitting here. Kamala Harris is sitting at a mere 47.3%. Donald Trump at a staggering 52.4%. This is outside the realm of statistical errors based on historical probabilities. In other words, given how much of a gap there is between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris right now, it really looks like Donald Trump could very well take it at this particular point in time. Okay. So essentially, this forecast indicates that Donald Trump has a very strong chance of winning. Now, this comes on the back of Kamala Harris being clowned, literally embarrassed. People are making fun of Kamala Harris for having this old man that they're calling her dad in the form of Tim Walz babysit her, basically chaperoning her to be able to do this interview that she clearly couldn't do on her own with CNN. So take a look at this, guys. This is absolutely embarrassing for Kamala Harris. This is an image of Kamala Harris just sitting here with her hands folded. And if you notice, you have the CNN host, I believe her name is Dana. You guys can help me out with her last name. Dana is interviewing Kamala Harris. But what's interesting here, and this is part of why this is so embarrassing for Kamala Harris, the current Vice President of the United States of America, you got Tim Walz face to face with the interviewer, but you have Vice President Kamala Harris sitting in the side chair. It's like Kamala Harris is not even sitting in a position of power. She's sitting in a secondary seat. you got to ask yourself, why is Kamala Harris not directly face-to-face with the interviewer from CNN, right? So this is more of an interview with Tim Walz than it is an interview between CNN and Kamala Harris. So again, this is another failure of Kamala Harris's campaign team, clearly dropping the ball here. Again, more evidence that Kamala Harris is not ready to be president of the United States. You guys let me know. I know there's a lot of Kamala Harris supporters here. What do you think about this? Do you think Kamala Harris should be face-to-face with the interviewer, or should she be sitting like in a high chair, like she's a 5-year-old, or a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, being, you know, chaperoned and monitored by Tim Walz during the CNN interview? You guys let me know. We also have to talk about the fact that Kamala Harris is admitting, Kamala Harris has effectively admitted, like, she scammed America. She straight up scammed America and actually had to come to terms with it. So what we're looking at here is, we're looking at, and I'm about to share this with you guys, footage where Kamala Harris admits that they effectively rebranded, rebadged, whatever you want to call it, this Green New Deal under the guise of the Inflation Reduction Act. Basically, it was a backdoor way to get the Green New Deal passed. This is why Donald Trump for a long time has been calling this a big fat huge scam.
Generally speaking, how should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and by extension the globe around when we should meet certain standards for...
Did you guys hear that? Did you hear that? Like, this should make Americans enraged right now. This should literally piss people off at this point. Kamala Harris is gaslighting us to no end, folks. To no end. And it really disturbs me to think how, you know, how there are so many Americans who are basically living under a rock. They believe in Kamala Harris. They think that she's the truth. They're calling Kamala Harris the greatest thing since sliced bread. She was the least popular, the least known vice president in probably American history just only a few weeks ago. And this further confirms that she is a scam. They have tucked in this Green New Deal into the Inflation Reduction Act, which, by the way, did nothing to reduce inflation. All it did was ruin Americans' finances, and she admitted it. And this is why they don't want Kamala Harris to not be... This is why they don't want Kamala Harris speaking without a script. They don't want her speaking without a script because she lets the cats out of the bag. And this is another L that Kamala Harris has taken during this time. I mean, this is a bad week for Kamala Harris, guys. This is on top of Tulsi Gabbard, another Democrat or former Democrat who has literally turned her back on the party. Tulsi Gabbard has come out and said, hey, enough of this Democratic crap. This ain't what I signed up for. So Tulsi Gabbard has come out and said, hey, you know, gone are the days of hanging out with the Democrats. I'm getting behind Donald Trump on this one. Donald Trump needs to lead our country. So we've seen Tulsi Gabbard walk out and formally endorse Donald Trump. So that was another big win for Donald Trump this week. Another big loss for Kamala Harris. And I think we're going to continue to see Kamala Harris's poll numbers continue to plummet. We're going to see Donald Trump continue to gain popularity in the polls. Because again, a lot of the hype, the DNC is behind us. The honeymoon period for Kamala Harris is slowly, I think it's actually quickly losing a lot of steam. Again, Donald Trump hosting the MAGA rally today in Michigan. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. endorsing Donald Trump. Guys, this is game changer information here. And let's not forget about the fact that Kamala Harris has had her cover blown yet again. So a source at McDonald's corporate confirmed that they have no record of a Kamala Harris ever working for them around the time and place that Kamala claims. Quote, "I did fries. Kamala Harris claims she worked at McDonald's, but she never mentioned it until she ran for president." So this is, again, another example of Kamala Harris trying to be anything and everything to everyone, okay? Kamala Harris swears she's black when she needs to be black. Kamala swears she's Indian when she needs to be Indian. Kamala swears she's, you know, black, white, Asian. It's like, you know, the old school Michael Jackson song, right? And yet again, her cover has been blown. So, I mean, so did Kamala Harris work for McDonald's? Or is she just trying to relate to minimum wage earning individuals, the lower income, the lower middle class America? What is she doing here? Or is she just blatantly lying? And this is a really big week for Donald Trump. It's Donald Trump right now in Michigan hosting his MAGA rally.
Thank you very much. I'm thrilled to be back with the hardworking patriots of the great state of Michigan. Nice state. And I also want to thank All-Row Steel CEO Randy Glick. Just met Randy and he's fantastic. The job the family's done, he's done. It's beautiful. And all of the talented workers here at All-Row Steel. I hope you're all happy. Are you happy with the company? I think, yes. I think. Great company. And congratulations on 76 years of manufacturing in Michigan. And you had your best years 4 years ago, but you're going to have even better years coming up, I can tell you that. You're going to have even better. I'm here today with a simple message for the American auto worker and for the American worker. Your long economic nightmare will very soon be over. It's going to be over. We're going to turn it around. With your vote, we will defeat Comrade Kamala Harris. And we will bring back the American dream, bigger, better, stronger, and just better, bigger, better. We love the American dream. You don't hear about the American dream. When was the last time you heard about the American dream? They don't talk about it, although they copy everything else I do, so I guess that'll be next. They'll be copying. They'll be saying, oh, the American dream. She doesn't know what the American dream is. Over the past 4 years, Kamala and crooked Joe Biden have presided over an economic reign of terror, committing one financial atrocity after another. As vice president, Kamala cast the deciding votes that caused the worst inflation in American history. You're all victims of it. We all are. Everybody is a victim of it. It's a nation buster, costing the typical family $28,000. Under her policies, household wealth has plummeted by $33,000 per family. The cost of the typical monthly mortgage has really tripled, and you can't get the money. So, you know, you will go from 2% to 10%, but you can't get the money at 10%. I guess they want more than that, but you just can't get the money. Credit card debt has ballooned by 40%, and they have the highest numbers in history right now. As of about 3 days ago, the highest number in history.
Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, please take a second, hit the like button for the video. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing this video, for subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one.